Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Randomizer Cinco Bingo of Pokemon Crystal. I am like a noob here, solo commentating today our match between Friend of Mr. Golem versus Phiyun. This is the bracket stage now. Both these players went 2-2 in the group stages, and unfortunately lost their round 1 matchups. And they will be playing in the first losers bracket today. We are just waiting on a couple players to just get some things ready in order for us to start. In theory, this should be a very close matchup. I am not super familiar with the playstyle of either of these players, mostly because I haven't really raced alongside them a lot of the time. A lot of the people, we do a lot of, public Cinco Bingo races in the Discord, and you see familiar faces left and right. These two players, have their presence, be known in this community, but not the ones to play public races that often. But when looking at this card, I definitely see a lot of goals that will take a while. A lot of the upper weighted goals will definitely time consuming. For those that are tuning in and might not understand what's going on, the goal of this race is to get 5 total bingos, or whether that be up, down, left, right, or on either diagonal. And you can overlap them. So let's say if you have, Mystic Water and that center spot, that can account for up to 4 different bingos. So you can overlap like that. So I believe you can get all the bingos with 17. I believe that's the most optimal number of goals you can do to get it. Might be 18 or something like that. But you can see some of these are a lot harder than others. Like, Mystic Water and Radio Card are 2 examples on this card that are basically free goals. They are static items that do not get randomized. So the items that do get randomized in this, it's 16. Ooh. Anyway, the items that get randomized are only field items. So any item that is given to you by another player, or any item like the radio card and the mystic water, and all key items are not randomized. So those 2 are given to you by players, so those are free goals essentially. And a couple other ones on here work like that too. TM50 Nightmare works like that. 7 different types of berries technically works like that because there's 7 berry trees that are kind of feasible to get, but maybe not optimal to get. And then there's a couple more that you're gonna get. Like, opening 2 hidden chambers of Alph is always feasible. Completing all 4 runes of Alph puzzles are always feasible to do it. A lot of these, you can look at them and you can say, okay, I can do these, right? Let me actually make sure that they're not ready. Yeah, Fom's still not ready. Anyway, but then you can look at some of these Pokemon goals, and since all the Pokemon slots are randomized, you're not technically guaranteed these goals. Like any Pokemon goal you see on here, even something like evolve 4 different type of Pokemon, I guess that's feasible, but not in a timely manner. Most of the time you get enough information just from going through the base game all the way up until about Gym 5, Gym 6, to do most of these Pokemon goals, but there's definitely that chance there. And then there's some special goals on these cards that are reliant on the day. Pokemon Gen 2 in general was the first generation to kind of implement times being relevant, like time of day for certain, day events. And there's a lot of pools. There's a couple pools of goals that can be chosen when randomizing cards that are reliant on the day. The 2 that I see here are a winning bug catching contest, which can only be done on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and TM21 or TM27, which is Return Frustration, and that can only be done on Sunday. So I would expect both these players to set late on Saturday, do bug catching contest, wait for the time to roll over like past midnight to the next day, and get Frustration Return. Yeah, I knew it was something close, like 16 or 17 or something. I just didn't want to do the math on my head that close. Um, I believe we are going to start very, very soon. And there's some stuff on this card that's, might not even be super feasible to grab in general. Like four non HM field moves. There's only one H or there's no there's only three. I guess there's four technically field move TMs you can get to teach, but one of them is very late into the game that we'll probably see both players not opt to do. So they'll probably opt to try to find a Pokemon that has one field move already that's not part of the three TMs you can pick up, and those three would be Sweet Scent, Rock Smash, and there's one more that I'm honestly blinking on right now. I should know this. What's the other one? We're off. So we see people scrolling down to 11 p.m. at night. This is the headbutt. That's the other one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go Toto starter. Almost vanilla. But yeah, we see both these players setting 11 p.m. They will most definitely set Saturday as well. Really, the name of the game now is seeing what your starter is. If you have a starter on this set of three, that's really good. It could save you a lot of time to opting to go find something in the wild. We see Celebi, we see Larvitar, and we see Butterfree. So there's one of these that probably should be taken. You give your opponent a Larvitar, if I'm not mistaken, which is not ideal, but still it's a Celebi. It's definitely the best thing on this table. 100 in every stat's very good, but it's also on that legendary XP curve. So how this ROM of Crystal works out is that there's two standardized curves. There's the non-legendaries and the legendaries. So only having 600 total base stats on a legendary honestly isn't that good all the time. Especially when we only have a wing attack on the Celebi. I guess was it wing attack, metronome, lock on, and something else? Obviously, this first passive, 29 will differ between players, just because of the amount of times you encounter things, and you can't really. That's just like lost time unless you find something that you would like want to go back for, because you can't actually buy Pokeballs until Cherry Grove, and we see a bunch of different buying options from everybody. Everyone kind of has their style of buy. We see Friend of Mr. Golem buy 4 repels. And Phiyun opting to buy, healing items instead. You see Phiyun catching a Dunsparce. Not entirely sure why. Maybe just for the meme. Dunsparce has been becoming a pivotal figure in this community just because of the Dunsparce bot that one of our main men, Septros, make that basically can give you, cards and your own, ways to play this on the spot without having to do the work yourself. Do you see Suicune being seen? Not really a Pokemon you want to run, but it is genderless, so Golem will already have 2 genderless Pokemon coming out of 30 going back the first time. That's very nice. We see a Vulpix from Phiyun screen also being caught for Evolve 4. He's 25% of the way there, basically, because stones are free, take very little time to get. They're basically... they cost some money, but most of the time you're not worrying about money. You see some interesting movesets on both Dunsparce and Vulpix. Neither Pokemon you kind of want to run, but they're definitely looking for that speed-reducing move, which is another super finicky goal a lot of the time. It's a lot easier to get than some of the other move-related goals that you see on this card, but it's still a crapshoot sometimes. And this is where the Celebi is going to struggle. There's nothing that can really hit this. Roars is the fourth move I didn't talk about. And with Crunch Larvitar, something alright. But the Suicune with Bubble Beam, that might actually be forcible if they don't really see anything else better. Just because it's early stab, Suicune just doesn't die. It'll get you there, but it will not get you there that fast. Very interesting, start for both of these guys. Not really seeing super runnable stuff. Dunsparce learning Thunderbolt, that's hilarious. But each kind of chipping away towards a couple of, overarching goals that are sometimes really hard to get. Typhlosion could be runnable in the right settings, but it's, in my opinion, not that likely. We do see Golem trying to feel it out. Would rather run anything but that Suicune. And I don't blame him. Suicune's probably one of the worst legendaries you can run, just from a stat perspective. We do see a Jinx from Golem screen, and a kind of important pickup, because that's a top left goal, and I think, at least in my opinion, there's 5 spots on the board that are very critical, or not 5, 9. 9 of the 25 spots are significantly more important for you to just get, and those are the 2 corners, the 2 inner corners, and the middle, so basically every diagonal, because the diagonals account for 3 different kind of bingos. While every other spot on the board is only really 2 or even 1. I know it's never 1, it's just 2. Of course, the middle goal is the most important goal, but that's going to be not a problem for our runners this time. I believe... that Mr. Golem actually has a speed-reducing move on that Suicune, but I'm not going to mark it for him, because that's on his job for him to mark that goal. A lot of people just don't really know the speed-reducing moves off the top of their head. See, Phiyun picking up a Porygon, that's a Genderless, so they're both 1 Genderless away from that goal already, which sometimes that goal is hard to do for whatever reason. We see Earthquake Ursaring. Earthquake Flail is its only moves, but that might be tempting. Ursaring has a really high attack stat. That's also... was that a female? I couldn't catch if that was a female or a male Ursaring. We see Nidoking on Phiyun screen. That's another goal. One of the less important ones, just because it accounts for only 2 bingos. But it really... it's nice to, catch it and have it, right? There's your third... I know this is a trainer battle, but there's your third Genderless if you really need to dex it. That is a female Ursaring, so that's not something you kind of want to see. In this game, the DVs or what will be known later as, you know, your IVs in your later games, that determine how good of, like, the stat of your Pokemon is. How gender is determined in these games is it looks at its attack stat, and that has a range from 0 to 15, and then it creates a percentage. Like, you know, Ursaring's a 50-50, I believe, to be male-female. So it's guaranteed to be between 0 and 7, because those are the lower 50% of the attack DVs that a Pokemon can have. That's kind of, you know, that's kind of a debated topic in the community too, though. How much these values matter in the grand scheme of everything. Some people swear by them and say that they're needed. Some of them say that they're bollocks and you don't need it. Did not see what this Nidoking has. Sludge Bomb, Stab, Sludge Bomb, Ancient Power is something, but Nidoking's also not that great in my opinion. So we'll see if Phiyun can maybe find something better, or hope to luck into some stuff, because Nidoking also doesn't learn any moves because it's a stone evolution. It'll all depend on what this 9 is. If this 9 could be something nasty, and it would just be really hard for you to get past it without a really good main. And it's a Caterpie, so you can basically force anything you want, knowing what's here. Interesting to see the Ursaring go for Flail instead of Earthquake, I guess trying to preserve power points, but I don't know what the... This Caterpie kind of destroys at least a level 5 Ursaring. Got past it though, but it's whatever. In bingos, you only do about half the fights in, you know, even the game going up to the Elite Four. You never really do That's how much I know the type matchup. Didn't realize bug resisted ground. Bug's such a weird typing. It does. That's crazy. Fighting grass ground. Anyway, we'll see what this level up move for Ursaring will be very quickly, because one good thing about Ursaring is it does get a decent amount of level up moves for a fully evolved Pokemon. Ooh, and that Mega Kick missing from the Dratini is huge for Golem being able to get past that. That would have definitely killed. Sludge is his level up move. That's actually really nice, getting rid of growth. And looks like Phiyun will be opting to go into the cave. I didn't see. Did he get Rock Smash, or is he just hoping to find something good in here? Either way, it's, you know, something I like personally. Nidoking's kind of it doesn't have any good, like, stats, period. It just has average stats across the board. He is definitely losing some time to Golem, who found a good main and is just kind of running with it. See, Flaffy? That's one of the better Pokemon to evolve if you need to level evolve. It only evolves at 17. Which isn't good, but is definitely way better if you don't have any other things to evolve. But he does find an Execute, so that's 2 Evo 4 if he decides to go for that. But he might just end up killing, never mind. Oh, but it has Headbutt, that's huge. Headbutt, unlike all HMs, you can use it whenever, so if you can find Headbutt, you can start headbutting trees, like, as early as, you know, the first route. We see FriendOfMrGolem resetting. I saw kind of what was happening. He was getting destroyed, but I didn't really see by what. I was too fixated by this headbutt possibility. Sludge Bomb Nido. It looks like Phiyun is opting. I would not be surprised if he was checking. There's a handy dandy to headbutt online resource that you can give it your ID and it'll tell you the rare trees and the better trees to, the optimal trees to go for. Magby in the first tree is not really good, but if that's one of the, common slots, it might be dicey. We see Porygon. Porygon's a buddy. Definitely not runnable, but more runnable than I would like to say. And as I say, Sludge Bomb Faulkner not doing good for Golem right now. Especially when it's spamming Smoke Screen. I was gonna look something up, but I forgot. Yo, there's so many babies in the trees. Smoocha Magby, Porygon. Oh, Porygon stats. That's what I was gonna look up. So I'm fairly certain. Oh, it's obvious that the Porygon's the best thing he's found in the trees so far. There are 2 tree encounter tables you can find in this game. Like before going into Faulkner, there's the table around 30, 31, 32. And then there's a table that's 36, which is left of whatever this town's called. Violet, yes. And I'm gonna probably see Phiyun opt to go find the second encounter table slot. Golem got through. He got through Faulkner. Not without giving up some possible XP on the bear, but that should be fine. We see Phiyun wanting to catch this Charizard. Maybe hoping to be able to run it, I guess. And Phiyun has still yet to find a speed reducing move. We know Golem has one as long as he doesn't teach over Bubble Beam. On the Suicune, but he's yet to know or find out the Bubble Beam is a speed reducing move. It seems like Phiyun's gonna go back, or just go straight into Faulkner's. We know that this is a Caterpie, but so he's gonna be able to get through regardless, but it'll be interesting to see what he sends out. Probably the Nidoking, right? Yeah. It's the best thing he's seen so far. There's a Sunstone. If only the wind bug catching contest was Sunstone. But alas. Looks like friend of Mr. Golem is opting to just grab every item he can see. That's okay. Personally, I probably wouldn't check as many items, just because there's no pickup items on the card. I guess he's like fishing for a Miracle Berry, I guess. Yeah, I guess that would actually be the ideal, right? Is to try to find another berry off the ground that you can't pick from a tree very easily. Because there really isn't any goals on this card that will make you have to try to manage money, or you're going to be short on money. So picking up items to sell isn't really a thing you would have to worry about per se. See Golem buying 21 Pokeballs at this stage. I guess since he has the money, it makes sense. You usually don't see a lot of people buy, Pokeballs at this quantity just yet, because you're kind of focusing on just progressing the story at this point. But I guess better now than later, right? The Sludge Bomb Nidoking taking out the Typhlosion probably won't have to have that much of a problem dealing with the other Nidoking. Just because of items and you know, AI working in your favor most of the time. This will take a while though for Phiyun, which is not something he kind of wants to see. He needs a way to get caught up because he's technically like a fight and a half behind, but there's a huge distance between the fight he's on and the fight he, friend of Mr. Golem, just did. Oh, and there goes Nidoking. This Charizard can take it out. I definitely am on train headbutting more in counter slots or fishing for slots if you're Phiyun. So you're just kind of trying to limp past this Falconer fight at this moment. See a big mushroom getting picked up. Friend of Mr. Golem kind of just moving his menu around, getting his potions to the top. Does Phiyun have one more Pokemon? The Execute. And the Nidoking's confused, right? So you just need to dodge a confusion. Oh, or dodge a Sludge Bomb. Let's go Execute! Beating Falconer's ace. And if we're seeing info, I'm definitely not picking up, because I don't think we've seen any info on any Pokemon so far. Oh, an Aerodactyl somewhat walls Ursaring's moveset right now, which is unfortunate, but it's workable. It doesn't have any real attacking moves. I guess the Nidoking is info for Friend of Mr. Golem, but that's about it. The Friend of Mr. Golem going left twin. The thing about these two twins is you have to fight one of them, but each one of them, like, rather walking up to them on the left side or the right side, will yield you two different Pokemon. So we'll see if there's a discrepancy of information here. Usually it doesn't matter, but sometimes it does, and that makes it really funny. Kakuna being on there is kind of maybe. I don't think you look for a Kakuna to evolve, but still. It's for in a pinch, you could say. We did see Staryu on a trainer. I'm remembering now. Staryu on a trainer to get to the Starmie goal. Synergizes well with Evolve 4 as well. She finally headbutting the tree. I guess he's headbutting here, like looking for a main. I guess it's easy to, you know, find. There's a Charmeleon now. Just find, you know, it's the same level as doing old rod fishing, you know. So if you find something good on here, it's you know, comparable. Picking up the Charmeleon, hoping I guess is good. I personally probably wouldn't check it because it's not. Charmeleon isn't a great Pokemon. Charizard's only even like a subpar Pokemon, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe it has a speed reducing move, and that'll be the saving grace. Ooh, and D-Punch on the Ivysaur might not be good because the Ursaring would. You can just switch out and switch back in, so it's not that bad of a deal. It has the Charmeleon has Headbutt. That's hilarious to me. We have yet to seen a field move too. That's not the 3 of Rock Smash, Headbutt, Sweet Scent either. So that's kind of concerning for that goal as well. But it only accounts for 2 possible bingos, realistically. Looks like FriendOfMrGolem is stalling out this Ivysaur. So it dies on the Parasong turn. There's Marowak. That's not... Oh, it's female. It's pretty bad. I'm like, Marowak's doable, but it's like not amazing. And I guess that's the only slot he's going to end up checking. There's technically 2 fishing slots on every route. I guess he didn't want to risk that being the 10%, or that being the, you know, I think it's 60-40. I feel like that's right. The 60 slot and just never finding another fishing encounter. This Mantine's screwing. What the heck? Golem barely going through Bugsy without dying. Umbreon? Why are you catching an Umbreon? Am I blind? I think maybe he was just, I don't know. That stumps me. Maybe. It has accuracy reducing. That was on the card. Could almost be good. Yeah, we see this a lot with trainers. Oh, and Phiyun hits the optional as well, going 1 tile 2 forward. It's unfortunate to see. Usually when you see, you know, you're not really able to find a good main, you're trying your best, but you can't really get something going, and then you end up, you know, wasting a ton of time looking for a main, and you can't find anything left, and then you start lowering your standards, and your standards get lower and lower and lower, and you just end up losing more time, and it's like a loop that goes around and around and around. I believe Phiyun's getting pretty close to that. Maybe just has to, you know, chalk it up to a loss and just run the Nidoking. Oh, why did I have to hear Jinx's cry today? Guess it was needed for him to, you know, switch back in safely. Well, going through this forest is kind of so-so. It's just a lot of movement. It's one of the movement-heavy portions of this race. Honestly, Nidoran male, a pretty okay catch because it's two evos pretty easily. Going from Nidoran male or female to its stage 1 counterpart is pretty easy in the grand scheme of things. I did not catch if this was a wild Pokemon or not. I don't think it is. I think it's an actual trainer battle. Yeah. Where is he? I wasn't even paying attention. Anyway, Golem's gonna go pick up the headbutt. TM basically required on this card for field moves. It's also really hard to backtrack onto it later. He's in well. I thought he was in well, but I didn't recognize this trainer battle from before. Maybe because these two trainers just got eliminated by EQ. Yeah, it's the first trainer. And Sweet Scent will also get picked up here. It's not only a non HM field move, it's also a very good utility to generate encounters very quickly if you're looking for a certain Pokemon in a certain spot, very like late into the game. We see friend of Mr. Golem depositing some Pokemon. One thing of this is to, you know, heal the Ursaring. That's a pretty common thing to do. The next thing is to also get your party back in order, because you want to pick up Kenya, which is a free gift Pokemon in this. I guess he's going to go shop first and grab his Water Stone. Alrighty, anyway, he's going to go up here, mostly to probably shop for some stuff, maybe buy some revives here, because this is a definitely early application you can get revives for. Probably the thing he's definitely going to do is he's going to go buy a Water Stone, because that is one of the easy ways to open up a hidden chamber in the Ruins of Alph. There are 4 chambers, and there's 4 different things you need to do in each chamber to open up the hidden compartment behind them. One of them is use an escape rope, which is easy. One of them is use Flash inside of it, which requires you to have both Flash and Faulkner's badge and Surf to get there. But the important thing here is you need to go get Flash, which is up at the top of Sprout Tower, which, you know, is an extra 1, 2, 3, 5 fights. So that's pretty slow. So you can easily do the escape rope one. One requires you to have Ho in your party, which for obvious reasons is very, very situational. But the other one, which is one of the ones that we'll opt for, is getting a Water Stone and just having a Water Stone in your party. Why it's like that, I couldn't tell you. But the important thing is that the 2 easiest things to do is to get a Water Stone, enter one, open it, and then go to the escape rope one and just use an escape rope. So TM50 here, Nightmare, is tied to getting that gift Pokemon you saw a friend of Mr. Golem grab. It's a simple, you know, fetch quest mission. You pick up the Pokemon, it has a mail, you have to give the mail to somebody else, and they give you TM50. Seadra 18 might actually win. I don't have the spreadsheet open in front of me. Somebody data dumped the bug catching contest probability of winning percentage for every Pokemon at every like conceivable level in here. Seadra 18 might just win it outright, which is why he's just going straight for it, which it will. So he only saw 1 encounters table, which was the Seadra, which, you know, he misses out on maybe some pivotal slots in there. But it's really easy to just get there and get out, right? Because who knows, the other 9 slots in there might be very bad. It looks like friend of Mr. Golem is going to opt to fight this trainer on the way back. I think that's technically faster. Especially if you one-shot this. But I thought he was going to go do the, grab the TM that's around here. There's a TM that's maybe a 10-minute walk, or 10-second walk out of the way, if not shorter than that. And because there's been not a lot of of good TMs on the ground here, I was wondering if he was going to try to fish for some. But it seems like he didn't. He'll just opt to teach Headbutt. Headbutt, Sludge, Earthquake, I think is his moveset now, which is pretty okay. Fortunate for Phiyun, he's just kind of, you know, slugging on behind. This Nidoking isn't anything super extraordinary, which definitely puts him in the back foot, just in general. I didn't catch friend of Mr. Golem actually checking the TM shop for moves too. I guess in his mind it's okay for his moveset to be like this. He has 4 damaging moves, 2 of them are stab, and, you know, slight coverage. Kind of has a problem with some type. Poison types? No. Skarmory in specific. And yeah, I'm thinking Aerodactyl. Yeah, those are the two moves, two things that that could really put him behind. But those are really the only, you know, with a moveset with only 2 holes like that's pretty decent. And he can replace, you know, Flail with something he finds. And Headbutt can get upgraded into Strength when he gets there. Whitney looks like a joke, and she was a joke. Venonat, Caterpie made me think that Bugsy was in here, not Whitney. And Whitney's TM's useless, just like all the rest of the TMs I've seen in this ROM. Oh yeah, and Phiyun's wall on Gligar too until he gets Headbutt. I didn't even realize that. Not really. I forgot that there's Cloyster. So I was talking about the Staryu information earlier. I guess you could technically still do that, but for the Evos, but you have Cloyster right here for the taking. Yeah, it looks like Phiyun's gonna reset and just opt to try to do Rival again. But he reset back to Well! Oh no! That's a throw. That's so unfortunate. In front of Mr. Golem almost forgets to pick up Rock Smash. Tisk tisk. But he does remember. Yeah, sad day for Phiyun, but he's gonna have to redo all of Bugsy's gym again. While friend of Mr. Golem is already doing... Oh, excuse me. Doing, what are these things called? I'm having so many brain farts today. The dancers, the, kimono girls, that's what they're called, I think. Yeah, but still, the thing is that, and to my knowledge, Friend of Mr. Golem does not really have a lot of, avenues to finish. He needs a couple more, a couple more info-related goals in order to actually finish. I see three things pretty easy. 4 if he realizes speed reducing exists. I guess 5 if he finds a dragon type. But that requires you doing both Alpha-related goals and evolving 4. Phiyun opting to go to the right side this time, I guess makes sense maybe to try to pick up some pivotal information that might win in the game outright. Because right now, I don't really see an easy way for them to finish. They need to find rather Onyx Scyther, a dragon type. Yeah. Something to note is Ho-Lugia is technically guaranteed. You can go all the way up to... Ooh, Rock Slide on Ursaring's huge. Interesting to teach over Sludge instead of Flail, but that's a personal opinion, I'm assuming. Like I was saying earlier, Ho-Lugia is technically static. You can go all the way up Tin Tower and catch the level 60, and you can mark off Ho-Lugia that way. This kind of logic also applies to something like Suicune, Raikou Entei by finding and catching a roamer or catching the static at the base of Tin Tower. Obviously that's not on this card, but still works like that. But definitely, FriendOfMrGolem's Ursaring will start picking up some pace pretty soon. Rock Slide, Headbutt, pretty decent. I do say so myself. And Earthquake is just the chef's kiss on top of that. The Phiyun saving before rival, smart this time. Well, those are the roamers. A lot of people like to try to figure out what those are. Me personally, I have zero clue what any of the cries are, and I have no intention on learning them. The FriendOfMrGolem going to come and opt to heal. Before taking on Morty's gym. It's understandable. I don't think we've seen a PP item pickup yet. Like an elixir or even an ether. And going through Ekritique entirely without PP items is somewhat not feasible. And right now we just have a lot of fighting. Phiyun kind of having a bad time with this Nidoking. Having to fight so many like rocks and steels and stuff like that. Just doesn't have the moveset to keep up. Phiyun opting to take encounters in here. I'm assuming just to see if you can run into anything. You know, at this point, getting something like Ariados Ledian would be really nice. Or even just evolving more Pokemon. He realizes he's so far behind, he's just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing if it sticks. Which, you know, all power to him. That's the only thing he could really do to get back in here. is start finding Pokemon, because I believe we still haven't... We saw a Dratini for Dragon-type Pokemon, that's about it. That's right. There's a Suicune that friend of Mr. Golem found earlier in a different route. It's genderless, but it will go die. So that's unfortunate for Phiyun. He could have had a genderless goal, I believe. He has 2 at this moment in time, Porygon and Celebi. So I would have put him at 3, but I don't think it's worth for him to stay here. He'll show up later, or it just won't show up at all. See, a lot of people opting to take this, this fight right here, the lady instead of the man, kind of blocking themselves up from going back here from the south, from Olivine. Which, you know, if you're never coming up here again, if there's not like a Snore, is it Snore TM13? The one where you have to feed all the berries to the Moo Miltank. It would be good to go up here from Olivine, but it's not necessary. Oh, we see Phiyun fishing up a Scyther. Very important pickup for him, because I believe this is info that Golem just doesn't have. Obviously, this is a friend of Mr. Golem. Has a route to finish regardless of his, you know, ability to grab items. But it might be scary for him knowing that Phiyun has info that he doesn't, and you know, he has no idea where Phiyun is. Like, I believe most people wouldn't be guessing that he was in Ilex when he found that. So that's very, you know, throw off-ish, if you ask me. We see Sneasel too? Yeah, we have established that Bubble Beam is a speed reducing move, but since friend of Mr. Golem is unaware of that, we cannot mark it for him. Because it's one of those things that does not reveal any information by marking it at a certain point. Because it could be anywhere. There could have been a case to do it, like, you know, as soon as he found out, technically. See Phiyun fishing here too, let's go. Fishing on 35, no, 34. Doesn't pan off this time, but that's you know, I like the plays. The plays are treating him well right now. Shucky has Dig, so that's huge actually. We don't even need to know what the Shucky is. The important thing is it has Dig, so 4 non-HM field moves is a possibility now. Of course, friend of Mr. Golem would have to backtrack and get Headbutt again from the Mart in Goldenrod. But definitely a quote-unquote free goal for him if he decides to go back and do that. Looking at what he might have starred right now, doesn't really seem that feasible for him to go back. But who knows? Maybe he finds Ditto Smeargle somewhere that would validate it, or he finds both Houndour Snubble or Ariados Ledian info. See some TM pickups from Phiyun. I believe Skull Bash was the thing he bought. And he's going to buy a second Headbutt just so he can teach Headbutt again. Very smart of him, knowing that he's going to probably want to do that goal. but might not want to come back to the mart. Picking up a Firestone and Leafstone for his 2 Evos, and the Waterstone for Radio card? No, I can't even speak. For Hidden Chambers, that's what I'm saying. Opting to use some of his stones right now. He has Execute here, and he got a Firestone? I don't remember what he picked up. Oh, Growlithe. Maybe? Something like that. That's a move set, alright. I mean, Earthquake's the only usable move. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, so we are 1 move away on the Shucky from getting it to a non-4 or 4 non-HM field moves state. Having some foresight in moving his moves around too, just to make sure that a Sweet Scent is in the lead, so it's easier to utilize later. So Phiyun has had 10 minutes to win this contest. Remember, he said 11 p.m. at night and is currently in his state. It's 11:49, almost 11:50. There's a Lediba. That's kind of something. I mean, you can dex it now. That's such an easy Evo with Ledian too. Level 10 Gengar won't win, but a higher level Gengar might. There's no... Just kill the Electrode! Do it! Do it! Let's go! So the idea behind defeat 2 Electrodes is for you to go down into the Mahogany basement and defeat the static Electrodes down there, but if you find Electrodes in the wild, like Phiyun's doing, you can just do the Electrodes. There's Ho-Oh-Lugia too! This guy's finding everything. That's definitely gonna win, by the way. There's no way that doesn't win. But, Phiyun's luck is kind of turning around. He doesn't have any sort of, Oh, but this thing might kill him. He needs to catch his Ho-Oh now. That's so tragic. He's gonna have to reset. There's no way you don't reset here, right? You have time. Oh, he's gonna dex the Ho-Oh-Lugia. Ilex? Is that Ilex or 30 whatever? I don't know. It's okay, but it's not great. Surprised he also didn't dex the Lediba. That's what I would have done too, because that would have been info I wanted. That's scary though, finding that Ho-Oh later. And now I have a Cursed Sunflora on my screen. The Electrode does not count. When you reset your game state, you basically lose all sort of goal progression that you did during that save. So currently he's only defeated 1 Electrode, and he does not have... I guess it's the only goal progression he did, right? Now this is the Seedra that won for Friend of Mr. Golem, just 1 level lower, and it should probably still win. The real question is, does Phiyun stick around to try to find the Ho-Oh? I feel like at this point you should start thinking about if you feel like you should be fly skipping or not, right? If you're Phiyun, you feel like you should probably have that Gambit, right? And you want to be able to do as much as you can right now, which would probably be finding that Ho-Oh-Lugia again. At least having something to win if you wipe out this time. There's the Ho-Oh. Level 7, that probably doesn't win, but it definitely... The thing is, it does not kill Phiyun's Nidoking, which is important. Dude, this hoe is runnable. Pedal Dance T-Bolt? If only you found like a higher level, dude. And he will be catching this Ho Lugia, very important for him. He's probably just gonna stay here until he can't anymore. And maybe, honestly, if you catch that, that is his third genderless. I don't know. I'll see if he actually he doesn't. Here's the thing. Like we can't. Like obviously, looking at this, we can verify it, but he might not know that he has 3. Right? It's not something definitive that was on his screen. He might not be counting. So in this scenario, it's not apt to change that goal for him because he might just not know until he can verify it himself. You see Friend of Mr. Golem going out to pick up a couple of, you know, the default TMs. Like not TMs, I can't even speak. The default items you can pick up from NPCs, like the Mystic Water and the Nightmare. TM. Radio card would be another, but it looks like he's opting to go do catching in Tojo first, which I'm totally for. Could also give him some info. And it's also a very low-weighted goal, so you can get that out of the way now. That's an Evo. It's Pikachu. Someone Apakura. Pikachu. What route even is this? Whatever route water. Main switch at 55 minutes. Looks like Phiyun's gonna opt to grab radio card now. It's a whatever kind of thing. Maybe kind of, you know, try to figure out what's going on. Psych Friend of Mr. Golem's head out a little bit. That Eevee kill was actually pretty huge considering that was also another Evo on his side. Which, in all honesty, could lead to, you know, way more possibilities for him. Because that Evo 4 Pokemon, honestly, can give you an easy-ish bingo for Golem. Oh, but there's Ditto. Oh my gosh. I'm assuming that's going to be the Ditto here. If he doesn't mark it by the time I see it happening, I'll mark it for him. Phiyun accidentally reset back to well when he was fighting Rival 2 Athena. That's what ended up happening. We see Execute popping up for Golem. And that's another Evo for him. Very nice, very nice. You think Phiyun still has a chance? There's a lot of things that could happen. Oh, that's another Evo. Hi, Slowpoke. The thing is, with the current set of information that this man has, he can only do... I guess he can technically finish, but it requires doing ALF puzzles. And realizing that he has a speed-reducing move on the Suicune. So if you take out that possibility that he has a speed-reducing move, and he doesn't realize that, then he only has 4 possible bingos right now. 1, 2, 3... Can I count? Yeah, 4 possible bingos right now. I wonder, what is he sitting here for? The Eevee? Does he not have 4 Evos yet? I guess he doesn't. He hasn't really been catching a lot of Evo pokes. But between Slowpoke, Execute, and Eevee, that's 3, I guess, right? Wide is a way to describe this card, yes. It requires a lot of backtracking. Just because you have Alph puzzles, you have, you know, all this stuff you have to, you know, juggle as well. Some Pokemon goals that just haven't been showing up. I don't think we've seen Ariados Ledian at all outside of the Lediba that Phiyun does not have information on now. I'm just gonna assume he didn't realize that that was an avenue he could do. We'll see what he's dexing. He's probably going to be dexing that Dratini if I were to be guessing. Yep. And it's in tin. Doable, but I think that's the only dragon type we've seen. So even taking that away... That's a great question. Slow King... And then Slowbro isn't a stone Evo, it's a level up Evo. So if he's willing to level up Slowbro or Slow King, or Slow. I thought Slow King was like a trade related. This is the line that I always do my crap with. Yeah, Slow King is King's Rock, a trade, which means it's level 37, which means you have to get that to level 37. I don't know if that's his play or not. That better not be his play, because that's kind of crazy. See, TM, you know, the Sunday exclusive TM's getting picked up by Friend of Mr. Golem. Basically, as soon as you could. It's just at the hour mark now. King in okay spots. I think I saw Dark, Burnt, and or was that 30? No, it was 30. Right? I can't read. Where did Phiyun get it? 29? Yeah, I think that makes a good point too. You can't evolve the Slowpoke twice and count it as 2 evolutions. It's the Pokemon you're evolving from, not the Pokemon you're evolving to. There's an Executor. He also grabbed a Headbutt there, yes. Yeah, like if it was if it was 4 different, you just catch 4 Eevees. And you catch 3 Eevees, you give them the 3 stones, it's 3 of them, right? That's kind of dumb. See the genderless Porygon come out here. I guess this was 46 where they got these Pokemon from. Yeah, this feels familiar for some reason. Hey, Skarmory. If you're looking for something to wall you. And now we're at the base of the game for Friend of Mr. Golem, where he's just trying to find, you know, a certain Pokemon to round out his stuff, right? After he catches his Nidoking, he has no other catching stuff he technically needs to do. that it requires slot checking. I guess the dragon type, right? You have to go through tin, but you're gonna go up to tin to get Hallelujah anyway. Then there's the Nidoking for him. And Phiyun gets his speed reducing move. Finally, I'm kind of saying this prematurely, but he'll check something that has it there. I was looking at the card. It's very mature, very premature, what the heck. Anyway. Yeah, because the only Friend of Mr. Golem will probably do defeat 6 swimmers, which takes a while, but definitely not that bad. The Cloister had Scary Face, so they technically have both. Friend of Mr. Golem has now missed 2 speed reducing moves in his routing, so maybe that, hopefully that doesn't bite him in the butt at the end of everything. Yeah, okay, there's the speed reducing move. Yeah, we're nowhere close to being done. Kind of. Fear. I keep seeing FOMG, which is the acronym of Friend of Mr. Golem. He's doing swimmers because it completes call 1, obviously, but maybe he's hoping for a different dragon type info. But if I were him, I would just have my route of doing 6 swimmers, alright? And then just doing Alph puzzles. You have your Evo 4 Pokemon, you just need to find one more possible Stone Evo, which I feel like he has somewhere. And then go and dex the Gligar that he had on Rival. Find out what that is. And then go evolve your stuff and climb tower. That's kind of a route that I see. But obviously that has a lot of stuff you still need to do time-wise. There's another dragon type, but guess what? It's Dratini, everybody! Definitely not the dragon type you wanted to see if you're Friend of Mr. Golem. I mean, you can dex Sneasel too. That might be a better thing to dex. Yeah, it seems like Phiyun's just gonna bite the bullet and just do regular progression. I don't really see what his plan is to catch up here. He has a lot of goals. I guess he can, like, hopefully weasel his way out of doing Elders and Tower. But we know that all the dragon type information we've seen is definitely not a infeasible locations. Teleport would be kind of the play though if you're doing, like, it's obviously the play if you're doing fly skip. Oh my god. Well, the only problem about Alph puzzles is you have to backtrack all the way to Azalea. Unless you're gonna just literally go through 32 and most of Union to get there every time. I guess it's only once, so it's not that bad. To do Flyless. You just do the Ho Chamber first for puzzles. You escape rope out. You do Waterstone, Hidden Chamber, and puzzle. And then you go do the other 2 puzzles that's accessible to you. Why is there so many Mewtwo's on these swimmers? Excuse me? This isn't okay. In the slightest. So I believe that that's 6 swimmers from Mr. Golem Man, and he will start doing he will do the non-HM field moves from that as well. Still has yet to figure out he has a speed reducing move, even though he has 2 sitting in his bag right now. Maybe 1. But it looks like he will start I guess I missed a Dex, because there's a reason why he's going here, but or is King's Rock's not on the card? Did he? Oh no! Did he think that Alf puzzles were this way? Oh no! That's unfortunate. Yep, he definitely didn't realize this was the way to go to get Alf puzzles. That's simultaneously hilarious, but unfortunate at the same time. So yeah, he is going to go do the Ho-Oh puzzle first, which requires fighting a trainer. Yo, I just thought of something. Correct me if I'm wrong, Athena, because you probably know this better than me, but since Phiyun has... Oh no, he only has it in Dex, he doesn't even have it on Pokemon, man. Everyone's so lame. I wanted him to proc the Ho-Oh chamber with Ho-Oh in his party. But yeah, these are puzzles, very easy to get lost on doing if you're not decently seasoned in doing them. I think the Ho-Oh puzzle is actually kind of one of the easier ones, even though I think it's supposed to be one of the harder ones in general. It's always very sad to see somebody screw up a part of a puzzle. It looks like he's realizing his mistakes as he's going though. I don't think we're gonna have any head scratchers here. I hope we do though. Second guessing himself on the middle 2. That isn't it though. I believe it's the 2 below the head. Or my See, here's the thing, you can never tell which ones are the right ones. There you go. Finally. And we see him utilizing dig to get out. Very smart. Meaning you're gonna use your escape ropes anyway for the hidden chambers. You see the water stone in his bag activating this hidden chamber here. This is definitely the hardest puzzle in here, without a doubt. I turn around and Phiyun's getting destroyed by a Mew. What the heck? And does he not have? He doesn't have any heat. He doesn't have any potions. What's going on? It's not what you want to see if your name's Phiyun. Yeah, all these puzzles just take a little bit of practice to get you used to them. Mr. Friend of Mr. Golem did did them in backwards order of complexity. Still getting tripped up a little bit, but that's okay. Nothing too terrible in the grand scheme of everything. We see some the last chamber being opened by Golem, and very quickly he'll also have all 6 puzzles done as well. But then after this, where does he go? He still has a couple of things he needs to do. I mean, he's definitely going to go for that dragon type in the Hoalugia. But if that's the case, he still needs to find Delibird, Sneasel, Gligar. He needs to dex that and hope it exists. And then evolve 4 as well, which I think he's almost there. He just needs to go do it. Phiyun opting to do trainer fights on his way to fly, which is interesting to me. But I guess he realizes he has to do this anyway. It's always the eyes. The cross-eyed Kabuto. You know, kind of rusty on the puzzles, but that's okay. And just like that, he's out of Alf. Never has to go back here again. Unless, of course, you know, Delibird, Gligar, Sneasel. He opts to go here, which he won't. For obvious reasons. Oh, he needs the burnt berry. I'm like, why is he coming here? But he needs the burnt berry. I believe that'll get him 7. No, he needs the miracle still, right? He's opting to go down and do electrodes. Does he have aerial sledding info? Does he just not have enough Pokemon to evolve? I'm stumped. I guess he might have Houndour Snubble info? I don't know, we'll figure it out in due time. I might have missed a Houndour Snubble check. That's a Sand Slash, you can kill that. Yeah, usually maybe he checks the traps on the way out, but we'll see. Oh, Raichu. Opting to kill the Raichu's always the play. It's just how it is. But actually not opting to check the stuff at all. Gligar's only in, I believe that's Dragon's Den. That's rough. Sneasel, though, we saw is actually Cherry Grove Water, too, so I'm probably going to see him go to Cherry Grove Water. Very easy spot, only 3 encounters. Especially with Dex Area Beep being a thing now. It's very nice to see, you know, like a a thing with 3 slots to see it. And even like caves now that don't have any water, like Ice Path, is a decent place to go check too, because it's only 7 slots when you find the floor that it's on. And there's the Sneasel. It's 2 bingos now for Mr. Friend of Mr. Golem. Keep saying Mr. Friend of Mr. Golem. But he finishes with Dragon type in the 4 top right goals, or Onyx Scyther. But I don't think he has Onyx Scyther info to work off of. So he might just end up opting to go to, you know, get his last remaining berries, go evolve 4, go catch Holugia and get the Dragon type. And Tin Tower. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done. And I don't really see a better world with him doing stuff, because we doesn't have Houndour Snubble, doesn't really have Ariados Ledian info, or Onyx Scyther. So it's just kind of a rough ROM for him specifically on info. I guess Phiyun too, but he did pass up that Lediba info. He's storing berries, right? I'm hoping he is. Is anyone paying attention to see if that's 7 or not? I'll get him to check anyway, but we'll see later. Oh yeah, that's right. He doesn't know that he has a speed reducing move still. He's kind of just vibing. I don't know if he's just thinking or trying to figure out something or what. Probably just trying to figure out if it's worth to actually go up to 10. It seems like he will be doing that. Maybe he's trying to find another dragon type that he missed. I don't know. This is about the only options he has. The Onyx Scyther is a pretty good, easy meta game if you ask me. And he might actually end up having to do that if he does not realize the position he's in. In terms of speed reducing? Excuse me, but you know, we'll see. We'll see when that time comes. Oh, the Scyther was fished up, that's right. I'm going crazy. I thought it was in contest. This was the Holugia that was in contest. And yeah, it was just the Holugia in contest. Ooh, that Dodrio's scary, dude. Crazy. He has 3 revives, so we should be able to get through it, though. The Dodrio is down. That took a little bit longer than he probably expected to. But then you follow up with a nice juicy Kakuna you can kill. Great. And Phiyun just finishing up Chuck right about now. At the 123 mark. Albeit he's done a lot of things and has had a lot of, you know, struggles at this point. You know, basically a 130 fly hurts. And it hurts a lot. That's actually Starmie, yeah. Let's see what the Suicune is. And then you have an Ekans. Let's go, Snake. Snake. Let's go, Snake. So, Miss Friend or Mr. Golem will start climbing tin and probably checking every single floor, hoping that the Dratini is at one of the lower ones so he can stop checking it. Isn't on floor 3. Collectibles Jinx Magmar was on one of the early routes, I think like 30 or 29. It was on 29 actually. Probably one of the lower percents too. I'm assuming Friend of Mr. Golem was pulling up a Tin Tower map. Because he's not 100% certain on what's going on, or like what he needs to do to get up to the top. Isn't on this floor, but we'll see if it's on this next floor. Yeah, it's especially if you haven't done tin in a while, it's a lot to process where you need to go. I'm just concerned he's gonna like miss a floor to check or something. Like he did now. He's gonna go back down because he needs to check something. Phiyun kind of starting the cleanup. Going to Tojo. Maybe gonna sit here and try to find the Ditto. And then realizing that he has a lot of stuff he could have caught in here too. The Slowpoke, I think, finishes him out for Evo 4 too as well. Especially if he finds that Eevee. And there's an Eevee. That helps him for Evo 4. And we still have yet to see the Dratini. At this point, I would consider trying to find the or catch the Ho-Oh. Oh, here's the Dratini. It's just on an off chance if that's a Dragon-type Pokemon or something. Save this 7 slot checking. This is very interesting just because Phiyun's kind of closer to finishing than people might think. He's gonna open some hidden chambers in Alph and get the 4 Rune of Alph puzzles, I would be assuming, while he's just there. But he already has his Evo Pokemon on deck. That could Cinco Bingo. He has 3 genderless too. That's a bingo. He should have gone and realized that the Ditto Smeargle was there. In Hojo. But I guess he just decided he would forego that, because if you do Hidden Chambers, Evolve 4, 3 genderless Ditto Smeargle, that's 1, 2, 3. And then 4, 5 with Electabuzz, Jinx, Magmar, and Frustration Return TM. But we do have Dragon-type Pokemon, the Dratinis here. We do see him opting to not do Ruin Drive Alpha puzzles. Phiyun assuming that he can probably go do something else with his time instead of solving puzzles, because the puzzles takes a long time to solve. Yeah, no. If he does the top 4, if Phiyun does the top 4 remaining, Ditto, Smeargle, Genderless, Frustration, Return, Electabuzz, Jinx, Magmar, he's just done. Holugia has been caught by Fomg, though. He needs Evo 4 and realizing that he has a speed reducing to finish. Or he has to go scramble and try to find Onyx Scyther, which he does not have info for. Or Houndour, Snubbull, Ariados, Ledian, which he doesn't have info for as well either. This is gonna get really dicey for him if he he's getting dicey. He should check his pokes, but we'll see if that actually kind of happens for him. He's getting his Evo Pokemon out now, though. Slowpoke, Execute, Eevee is 3. And I'm assuming he has a 4th somewhere. Oh, Phiyun was going to do Electrodes instead of row 4 instead of row 3. That's actually smart. Just from a time standpoint, now realizing that his info for Dragon types might not be the best either. This is going to get a lot closer than we might think here. Especially since FriendOfMrGolem, I have not seen his 4th evolution Pokemon yet. I've only seen Execute, Slowbro, and Eevee. Do not know what his other evolving Pokemon's going to be. You'll probably see his speed reducing move now. Looking through this, he does see Scary Face. That definitely is a speed reducing move. And all he has to do is evolve another Pokemon, but I don't see anything that can evolve on his screen right now. Rather that or find Onyx Scyther. Actually, no, he still needs. Yeah, no, he just needs 1 bingo. Bloom in Burnt Tower works as a 4th evolution. We'll see how fast he can get this, though. It's 7 slots he has to check, mind you. And he has found the place where they are, where it is supposed to be. So how quickly will he get this is the real question. What is Phiyun doing? I don't understand what he's up to. Has he still not? Oh, he still hasn't. Has he still not done the rockets? He still hasn't. So he actually can't do Electrodes until he gets you know, goes to Lance and does this little side quest thing. Maybe getting scammed along the way. Maybe getting a couple of, you know, funny loss of Pokemoney. And there's the gloom. And there's the gloom. Looks like Friend of Mr. Golem will be evolving this gloom and winning this race with a time of a 1:35-ish. It felt a lot closer by the end. Phiyun was incredibly behind, all things considered. We'll get him in very momentarily. I asked him to just check Berry plus Swimmers just to make sure that he has everything that he needs. Alrighty. Looks like Friend of Mr. Golem will win this out. In kind of a shaky fashion, but that's okay. I'm fairly certain he got all the goals. Swimmers has been a thing that people have miscounted before. But we'll see if we can maybe get a couple of questions in here for him when he if he decides to join back in. And Phiyun's just finishing up. He's very close. He found an Electabuzz. Yeah, Phiyun clarifying that he does have 3 genderless. Because the hoe is in the decks, it counts as him owning it. Therefore, he has 3 different genderless Pokemon, and that just leaves. I believe he's actually done. I didn't even realize he was done. The Electabuzz Jinx Magmar actually finishes him out quite nicely. So yeah, actually, all things considered, a little bit of a closer race than it might have looked 45 minutes in. We're here now with a friend of Mr. Golem, our winner of this match. How are you doing today, friend?
Yeah, I think I played better than in my last few rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm comparatively happy.
Yeah, and that's improvement.
Although I still made some mistakes. Like, I realized too late that for the Evolve for Different Pokemon goal, I have to evolve 4 different Pokemon and not evolve into 4 different.
Yeah,
so
we were wondering
my
about
plan was to catch multiple EVs and but yeah, I realized that myself.
Yeah, we were
it's not going to work.
We brought that up when you caught the second Slowpoke too, because Slowpoke has 2 evolutions it can branch from. We were thinking you might have been thinking about doing that, but
yeah, I was.
The other thing is that Slow, one of them evolves at 37. The Trade Poke Evo, like the Trade Poke evolutions, evolve at 37. But anyway, another thing that we were kind of puzzled on is speed reducing move. Just because there was a lot of speed reducing moves that were just passively caught, and it was just not caught by you till the very end. Were you just not prioritizing that, or were you like routing, assuming you would find it eventually?
I was going to check in the end if I had caught anything with a speed reducing move, and I tried to check. I was looking for it while doing trainer battles, but I think there weren't any. But it's possible that I just missed them.
Yeah, because the Suicune had Bubble Beam, the Cloyster had Scary Face.
Yeah, with Cloyster I marked it, but by Bubble Beam, for some reason I thought it reduced attack, but I think that's Aurora Beam.
Yeah, that's Aurora Beam. It's very common though. I didn't realize Bubble Beam reduced speed until very recently as well. So it's not something that was on the back of my mind the first time I made that mistake. But yeah, all things considered, Phiyun just had a very unfortunate set of events where he got walled on Rival 2 and then reset, and the last save he had was in Well.
Oh, I see.
So it was a kind of dicey situation for him because he got Fly at like 120 something, and then just had a very, very quick cleanup. Well, if you have no more comments on your run here, I know I realize it's a little bit of a rough one, but nothing indicating about skill level. I remember my 2-hour romp I had in groups. Did not feel very good coming out of in the slightest.
Which Pokemon did he run?
He ran a Nidoking that had Nidoking that had Sludge Bomb. It was like Sludge Bomb and one other move. But yeah, I was kind of not sold on the Earthstring just because it was mono Earthquake and female, but it got some good moves, which helped it a lot.
Yeah, I knew it. I could teach it Headbutt, and Flail is kinda decent for the beginning, but still risky because it's not very fast.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to spend much more time, and I felt it's still better than Suicune.
And like there wasn't really a lot to work with on this ROM either. He got Headbutt very early and was attempting to headbutt a lot of things, but didn't check the 36 Headbutt tables. He only checked like the route 32 or the Route 31 headbutt tables, and then moved on. And then he fished for a lot of things. Like he found a Scyther fishing in Azalea, in Ilex. He lucked into a Sneasel on his way into contest. On 34, that's that route called, yes, 34. And he just he walked into a couple of things, but by that time he was so far behind in progression, it was very hard for him to make any sort of mounting comeback. Well, that's gonna be it for us. You have a little bit of time to wait and chill, Mr. Golem, because the match of the person you're gonna play later, you were in losers round 1, now you're in losers round 2, and you're gonna play the loser of match 31, which is hasn't actually been decided yet because Weista versus myself will be happening tomorrow because Weista has been out of town, and then the loser of the winner of that versus Kovalta, who won a couple days ago, will play you. So sit tight. You'll figure out your opponent eventually. But I wish you luck on the rest of your matches.
Thanks.
And I believe I've been like a noob. My Twitch is like a noob 100. I just go by a different Discord name because of other communities, and that's what gets shown on screen. But I will see you guys later. Hope you guys are enjoying this a lot of this Pokemon Crystal randomizer action. Definitely this will be going on for a couple more weeks, so stay strapped tuned and just look at SpeedGaming for some more content like this.